Good evening to one and all present here. I, Bala Gauri, on behalf of 2nd MAHRM, DG Vaishnav College, welcome you all for today's webinar on the topic Acing Your First Job. Let us welcome our speakers for the day Mr. Vaishnav, Mr. Gokul, Ms. Satyalekha, Mr. Aman Sharif, and Ms. Madhuri. Mr. Vaishnav is the founder, a full time entrepreneur at Get That CV, and personal banker at NatWest Group. His flair for entrepreneurship was initiated at college with his very own t-shirt brand, Caution Clothing. Later, Get That CV happened when he found that his peers and colleagues were struggling with their career advancement due to lack of well-written and visually appealing resumes. Today, Get That CV has helped to bring in real impact onto the careers of their clients globally. He has also held multiple leadership roles, such as Vice President of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Loyola College, Organization Secretary, Loyola Economics Association for Development, and also has a passion for filmmaking. Had worked as an assistant director in a Tamil feature film and has directed several short films. Mr. Gokul is the co-founder and head of business development at Get That CV. He also works as a strategic account manager in a SaaS company based in the US. As a student entrepreneur, he also spent his time as a president of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Loyola College. Ms. Satyalekha, content architect and chief writer at Get That CV. She started her journey of content writing back in college as a co-content manager of a techno managerial fest and editor-in-chief of Paperkin blog. She has handled many resumes and CVs spanning across a broad spectrum of career fields. Mr. Aman Sharif is a passionate marketer who manages all social media platforms of Get That CV since its inception. He is an expert when it comes to personal branding and LinkedIn profile optimization. He has his hands on multiple areas of expertise like digital marketing, Google AdWords, and LinkedIn marketing, to name a few. He is also the part of US based Fortune 500 companies Straight Street as an analyst. Ms. Madhuri, the Chief Relationship Officer at Get That CV, is also an alumni of DG Vaishnav College. She is also a performance manager at DT. She has done numerous volunteer activities and also served as a treasurer of an NGO called Hunavar. We welcome the team. Now, I would like to introduce our head of the Department of Human Resource Management, DG Vaishnav College, Dr. N.C. Martin. Dr. N.C. Martin is a highly experienced academician and has about 20 years of academic and administrative experience as a professor, HOD, dean, and registrar. He did his post graduation in labor management and PhD in labor laws from Tamil Nadu Institute of Labor Studies. He started his career as a lecturer from the same institution. He held various positions in the arts and science colleges, engineering, and media college. He held academic positions in various educational institutions such as Assistant Professor and HOD of MSW Department in Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College, Professor and HOD of MBA Department in SAMS College of Engineering and Technology. He was also the placement officer for the entire division of SAMS College of Engineering and Technology. During his tenure, he successfully placed engineering and management graduates in top notch companies of manufacturing and service sectors across the country. He continued his career in St. Joseph College of Arts and Science as the Dean of Academics and LV Prasad Film School, one of the best film schools in Asia, working as a registrar. He acted as a jury representing the Employees Federation of Southern India for the selection of companies for the best practices for the year 2018 to 19. He has added a number of research papers and publications to his credit and is an expert in the subject of labor legislation and industrial relations. He has given centum results in various HR specialized subjects in the university examinations. We welcome you, sir. This meeting is recorded for the educational purposes. In case of any doubts or questions, the participants can unmute themselves or type the questions in the chat box. Now, I request Dr. N.C. Martin to speak a few words about the topic for the day.
Yeah, thank you, Balagari, for the introduction.
Thank you, sir.
So, happy good evening to one and all present here for the 54th series of webinar. So, I welcome all the participants, dear students, professors, HR fraternities, and so on. So on behalf of management, Sri Ashok Kumar Mundraji and our principal, Dr. Santosh Babu, I have a special welcome to our resource person of the day for giving their consent to host the webinar for students on the topic acing your first job. So on that behalf, I welcome our resource person, Mr. Vaishnav, founder, Get That CV, Gokul Nambi, co-founder, head of BD, and Aman Sharif, marketing head, Ms. Satyalekha, content architect, and Ms. Madhuri, chief relations officer. So coming to the topic, acing your first job, very interesting topic for especially for the students of the second year students who are about to take the placement for the next semester. So after we graduate ourselves from college, so everyone like to have their dream job come true. But how can it be possible without our attempt and effort? In today's cutthroat competitive world, so the stakes to crack an interview is not an easier thing unless and until we actually prepare ourselves through rigorous preparation. For this, hard work and determination are very important. So no doubt, every interview gives one or the other experience. So it will be very useful to build your confidence and you to crack it. So in each job interview, we meet new people and we brand and sell ourselves. To survive through the interview process, so we have to display our knowledge, skills, and talents in order to convince an employer. So the main preparation for the interview, it starts from researching the company details and the job requirements. So the reason is this type of information will help us to frame a career objective. It's very important. So it is also very important to know about the details of the interviewers. So if possible, try to get a contact through social media, LinkedIn, and other sources so that you may familiarize with them. And so this will be an easier for you to build a bond and rapport before the interview process. So it is also better you try to identify the common interview questions and starts practicing your answers. So preparing answers for these questions will give you more confidence. So while answering them in the interview. So next, I could say that to keep reference, that is at least three active reference. So with the names, email address, and the phone number, so that so they will respond positively when the interviewer call to check any of the details and the information if it is required for them. So every interview is likely to end with the questions. So do you want to ask us something like that? So when it is a turn for you to answer, so don't be shy in that. So when asking the interview questions, so if you're moving out to any change of a location, so you can ask them about weather, like how it is the weather there over there. So what are the things they could make it possible for you to in order to see that you've been setting to that climate conditions. So there is no any harm in asking this type of questions. So it is in fact shows your interest and eagerness to more about the position of the company. So in that regard, you may ask like questions: what are the day-to-day responsibilities, and what are the company values, and other challenging aspect of the work, and etc. So finally, I could say that decorum and dress code is very important for any interview and for any position you appear. So dress appropriately and for the job for which you're applying. So with this brief note, I could conclude and give the session to our resource person to share their experience, expertise, and and throw much light on the topic and make it a very interesting session. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Now the team can take over the case.
Good evening, all. I take immense pleasure in thanking the Department of MAHRM and the management for giving us a great opportunity. And I'm here to tell you some secrets which no one will ever tell you. And I'm going to introduce to a team who have applied it and achieved success. And here is Mr. Vaishnav, who will be introducing about Get That CV, followed by Mr. Gokul, who will be discussing about careers in HR and essentials of your first job, followed by Ms. Satyalekha, who will be discussing about application tracking system and how to write an impactful cover letter. Finally, Aman Sharif will walk us all through how to use the LinkedIn effectively. And by the way, end of the session, we'll all get to know the secrets. Thank you. Over to you, Vaishnav.
Thank you, Madhuri, for such a wonderful introduction. Hi, guys. A very good evening to everybody. And I want to start off this meeting by telling how grateful I am to DG Vaishnav College as well as the HRM department for giving us this great opportunity to interact with you guys and learn more for us also. So, it's a really humbling experience to come here and talk about Get That CV, how we started off, the journey through which we helped a lot of people to land in their first jobs or make career advancements. So when we started off Get That CV, it was like we saw a lot of people, like we were also college students, we saw a lot of young students struggling to get a job or land in a job due to very simple or not so good looking resumes and CVs, underwritten resumes and CVs. So we took it up as an initiative and started this company during the pandemic. And you guys can imagine what the situation was during the pandemic. People were struggling, the struggle was more. So once we started it off, we attracted or we made ourselves like a motive to help a lot of students. So we made the pricing very competitive for students so that they can easily access our products and buy them and use it. That kicked off, also keeping that in mind, most of our products, if you see, are student friendly and student focused, and it would really help you guys in finding your careers or making your like landing on your first job. So like going into some of the products. Sorry guys, one second. Aman, Chef, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, sure. I'll just share. Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
visible?
yeah. Can you move on to the next slide? Yeah. So I was talking about the products. So we have a range of student products, which are student resumes, LinkedIn, and a range of corporate products, such as corporate resume, CVs, etc. And we have one unique product, which is a resume presentation script, which is something that would really help you if you guys are going for your job interviews or anything, because we make a script out of your whole profile and answer the most probable questions that you might face in an interview. So this is a brief introduction about Get That CV. You can find us at www.getthatcv.net. Um, Keeping this in mind, moving on to our next speaker, Gokul, to give you introduction on the careers in HR and how you can crack a career. Thank you.
Hey guys, hi, good evening, and thanks a lot, Department of HR, and Thanks for the great introduction, Dr. Martin. So just moving on. So I'll be talking about preparing for the career in HR. Basically, the career in HR, you might know, as a student of HR department, you might know what different aspects you can try on and all that, right? So basically, I'm going to talk about how to prepare for the career in HR and how to approach when you start searching for your first job, right? So talking about it. So first point is getting clear with your goal. So most of us, right, even when I started searching for a career, so I didn't have a proper goal, and later I found that we should have a goal, and as in are you going to apply for a startup, or maybe are you going to apply for a government firm, or NGO organization? So just be very clear with the goal, because you don't have to get yourself confused while on the process, right? So have a backup plan. So even let's say you're not getting a startup job, or maybe in a corporate you're trying but you're not getting a job, have a backup plan. You can try for the tier 1 startups if you're not getting a job in a corporate, right? So that's about having a plan B, C, and D. So talking to experts, let's say you're confused, you don't know where to start, you really don't know like which job I'm going to get into and all that, right? So talk to experts, even your dads, even your professors, be open to them, ask for suggestions, ask for help, and you may get the help that you need. So the next step is, when talking about careers in HR, most of us, we tend to listen to what our friends, say us, and what our parents say us, right? But we don't know the options that are available in the market. So in order to, open it up, just have to take up a lot of courses, webinars, attend webinars like this, and then get into internships, meet founders, talk to different people, and network with them. So recently I came across different, titles, like digital evangelist. So as you know, right, there's a lot of peak in technology in HR. So I work for ATS firm, I work for the recruitment industry. I know how the ATS works. And, the recruitment firms are having people, just to handle the technology in that firms, right? So you might have to explore different titles, not just, get into the recruitment manager role, or not just, technical manager role, but there are different roles available. So make sure that, you explore different opportunities, right? So last but not least, talking about upskilling. So the thing is, you are already skilled, you know how to communicate, you know about leadership. So you know how to operate your computer, and you know how to learn quickly, right? But the thing is, we fail to upskill ourselves, right? So once you learn a skill, it's always important to upskill yourself so that keep yourself on track. And tomorrow when your interviewer asks you some questions, you just gonna not think about what I learned, and so it's like even in your job, right? It's gonna be helpful, when you keep upskilling yourself on the topic or whatever you learned in the past, right? So moving on to the next slide. So guys, do you have any questions? I'll be please make a note of it. Maybe we can take the questions at the end. We can answer it. So moving on to the next slide, we are going to talk about essentials for a job search. So talking about essentials, what do you need, and what type of mindset, what you should do to get into a job, and how to approach it. So the first one is the toolkit. So when I talk about toolkit, so that's what we do basically. But here we are going to give a lot of value in this session. So the toolkit necessarily means the resume, CV, cover letter, and everything and anything that that will help you to get a first job. So there's no much difference between a CV and a resume, but most people ask me what is the difference. So the CV is just a 2-page or more than 2-page document, which is for experienced people. And if it's a resume, it's just a 1-page document, right? And cover letter is that supports these documents and supports that goal of yours to get into a job in a particular company, right? And the next step is, as I said, so in the previous slide we talk about talking with experts, right? That's for your advice or suggestions to know which job to get into. But this time, networking can help you to actually get into a job. So what I mean by networking is, I've done this, and this has worked for me while doing the job search, and I got my job through LinkedIn. And I didn't go through my campus placements. I just rejected 4 jobs, 5 jobs, and then I just searched for the best job. I didn't settle for the lowest. So I would suggest the same thing for you guys. Talk with different founders, connect with HR guys on LinkedIn, and try to interact with their post so that you get to know them. And not only that, so we recently came across this something called Clubhouse, right? So there are people who give you opportunity to talk, come and talk. You should go, make that opportunity useful and grab that opportunity to, network it so that, it can be helpful even, not just getting into a career, but maybe after that, if you're starting a company, if you want some investments, you can approach them, right? So knowing where to apply. So not just campus placements, let's talk about, let's talk beyond campus placements. So my friends, they're totally blank after, the campus placement is over. They don't know where to apply. They, talk to the professors. But the thing is, there are a lot of opportunities. I see a lot of openings coming every day, but still we complain, there are no openings at all. So talking about knowing where to apply, there are recruitment firms where you can, easily approach them. And then there is LinkedIn, there is Facebook, social media, right? And then, maybe, if you know someone from your family who is working for a company called Freshworks, to refer. So referral works, perfectly, amazing, because I've seen a lot of people, working in a company, referring other person, and they don't, the 60% of work is done. So if you know someone from your family who is working for a good company, ask them to refer you. Just ask them to refer you, and you will get the opportunity. So establishing connections, as I said, it's similar to networking, but this time you might have to show what you have got. Go to LinkedIn, write a post, write something that you're skillful about. Show your interest to the network that you have built, so that they will give you opportunities, right? And persistent. This is very important, because at one point what we do is, when we do a job search, we it's so hectic, we get so depressed at one point, we stop searching jobs, and then we'll wait for the jobs to come to us. So never do that. Just knock each and every door, and don't settle for the lowest. So even if it's the 20th rejection, 21st time you will get a job. And so be persistent. And that's I think, to keep it simple, that's about my 2 slides. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer at the end of this call. So meanwhile, thanks a lot for this opportunity, guys. I'll meet you at the end of the session. So moving on, I think Satya will take it forward. So I was talking about the toolkit. So she will explain what the toolkit is about and how to write resumes and writing impactful cover letters for you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Gokul. And good evening, everyone. Thank you, Bala Gauri, for the beautiful intro, and Dr. Martin for the warm welcome. I am really glad and honored to have gotten this opportunity to interact with you guys. So as Gokul explained, without doubt, having a good resume is a very important prerequisite for landing your dream job, right? So there are tons of websites, templates, and other resources available online, which you can easily use to just make your resume in seconds. All you have to do is download them, replace whatever text is there with your information, and voila, you have your resume. And if you're a creative person and if you like doing it, you might have your own ways to design your own resume and make it very beautiful, attractive, and unique, right? But the question is having a good resume alone enough to ensure that you get an interview call? Actually, the answer to that question is a hard no. Let me explain. So you guys are doing post-graduation in human resource management, right? So tomorrow, if there is an HR job opening, there will be tons, 10,000s and lakhs of people applying for the same position, just like you, right? So they'll be having the same set of skills like you. For example, you are good at recruitment, communication, administration, human resource management. So everybody who's applying along with you will be as good as you, or may not be, but mostly will be as good as you in these skills. And moreover, they will be as qualified and as eligible for the job position as you guys, right? So it has actually become very hard for recruiters to fish out the kind of people that they would like in their company. So, and also technology right now is the most advanced it has ever been, right? So gone are the days when recruiters are going to sit and go through every single resume they have and see which is good, which is bad, which wins, which loses. It is practically impossible to do that now. So right now we have softwares doing that. So basically, if your resume is not compliant or if it's not good enough to, screen or to, if it's not good enough in the eyes of that software, it is not even going to reach the recruiter. The recruiter is not even going to know that such a person has applied for the job. So think about how unfortunate that is. A person who is so versatile, he will be having all the skills and he'll be perfect for the job, but just because his resume is not compliant with the software, he would be missing out a perfect job opportunity, right? So that is why ensuring that your resume makes it across the screening software is a very important first step to securing your dream job. So that is where ATS, the buzzword that is trending everywhere now, comes in, and we're going to talk a little about it. So as you can see, ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. Let me give you a few pointers that you can use in order to modify your resume and make it ATS compliant. So to begin with, using strong action verbs is very important. So for example, if you write something like, I assisted in this project, their assist is considered as a very weak word. It does not give the recruiter a feeling that you are adept at what you're doing or you're accomplished. You're just saying that you assisted in it. So you need to use verbs that drive your accomplishments. So using strong verbs like pioneered, spearheaded, initiated, all such strong verbs will take your ATS score much higher. So putting your resume into bullet points and ensuring that you begin your lines with strong action verbs that tell the recruiter how accomplished you are in your job is very important. Second thing is keywords. So you will have a lot of accomplishment and key skills or interpersonal skills up your sleeve, right? So make sure you highlight these words throughout your resume. Management, leadership, recruitment, communication, coordination, all these words are strong keywords. So make sure that you use them everywhere. Make sure you have a separate section to highlight your skills everywhere. That is a very big plus point in ATS compliant resumes. Quantifying impact. So make sure that there is no vagueness of any kind in your resume. So many people tend to use vague words whenever they explain their experiences. I've handled many projects. I've done multiple things. I was involved in several initiatives. So words like many, multiple, various, several, they do not add any value. You're in fact making your accomplishment very vague. So you need to make sure that you clear-cutly specify the kind of accomplishment that you have by quantifying it. So use percentages, use figures. Say you have done something with 95% accuracy, or say you have tripled the outcome, or use quantifying verbs so that it adds value to your resume. And avoiding fillers is also very important. So another common thing that we notice in every resume that we get is they add filler words or buzzwords to their key skills. Words like I'm very motivated, dedicated, hardworking, diligent, attention to detail. So all these words are actually very nice qualities, but strictly speaking, there is no scale to measure these qualities, right? You cannot really measure how hardworking a person is just from his professional CV or professional resume. Unless you look at him and unless you witness him in action, you won't be able to evaluate that. So putting vague buzzwords or fillers like hardworking, diligent, etc. is not an advisable practice. So make sure you avoid common buzzwords like that. And finally, another important pointer is to keep the design as simple as possible. So we get a lot of resumes having photographs and figures, and by figures I mean pictures, beautiful pictures actually. But the problem is, to an ATS software, pictures and graphs and all is considered as blank space. So it actually reduces your score. So make sure that you do not include any kind of pictographs and Another important thing is a professional photograph. Though it is okay to put, it's actually not advisable. Better to avoid a photograph unless the recruiter has specifically asked you to put a photograph. And also, I'll also add one more thing. Another thing that we notice very commonly is people giving their biodata at the end of the resume. So please do not include biodata along with your professional resume, because it does not actually come as a part of a professional background. So it is okay to give your mobile number, LinkedIn profile, and email, but things like how old you are, whether you have a spouse, where you live, etc., can actually be a separate document. If you're eager to send it to the recruiter, please keep it as a separate document. So these are some of the pointers that will help you improve your resume, modify your resume, and make your resume ATS compliant, which is very important in today's recruitment world. So something to think about. Moving on to the next topic, writing impactful cover letters. So I think everybody must be already familiar with the term cover letter. For those who are not, it is a document that you submit along with your resume. So having a good and unique attention grabbing cover letter is very important, so that recruiters sit up and take notice of your profile. So in order to write a good cover letter, you don't actually have to be a very good writer or anything. You have to make sure that you follow a tried and tested formula or format that has always worked. So that formula is what I'm going to share with you right now. So firstly, add a header to the top of your cover letter. So where you can, a header will include your name and your details, contact information, mainly mobile number, and any websites or LinkedIn profile. Any links to any of your portfolios will do. So make sure you add a big header so that recruiters shouldn't sit there and search for your number all over the cover letter. So make sure that you include your contact information right at the top along with your name. So the second part of the cover letter is the greeting. So in case you know what kind of manager he is, or in case you know his name, feel free to address him that way, him or her that way. Otherwise, a simple dear hiring manager or respecting hiring manager will do. So add the greeting next. And then usually a cover letter consists of 3 parts, and that is the ideal specified length. So in the opening paragraph, make sure you grab the attention of the recruiter. So as I've already said, they'll be going through hundreds of cover letters and resumes every day, right? So make sure you start off with something that is unique, something that will catch their attention, so that they don't just skim through and just put it aside. So highlight your achievement, highlight something that makes you stand out, so that they sit up and see, okay, this person, is something. Let me know what else he has up his sleeve. So make sure you grab the attention of the recruiter right in the beginning itself, in the first paragraph, opening paragraph. And in the second paragraph and third paragraph, your main job in a cover letter is to convince them that you are perfect for the job. And by perfect, I mean not only for the job, but also for their company. So firstly, in the second paragraph, talk about how you are perfect for the job. Highlight the kind of skill sets you have. Make sure that your achievements or your work experience matches with their job description, so that they know that you are the ideal candidate for the job. And also, in the following paragraph, make sure that they understand you are a right fit to their company. Make sure that your values align with the company's values. Specify how your values align with the company's values, and convince them that you will be a great addition and you will add value to their company. That is also very important. And finally, close it formally and mention that you look forward to meeting them, or you look forward to getting in touch with them, and you look forward to joining their big family. Anything will do. So make sure you end it with a formal closing tag. So these are this is the formula for writing a great cover letter. Hope this has helped. If you have any doubts, please feel free to drop it in the chat box, or we can discuss it at the end of the session as well. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'll hand it over to Sharif now.
Thank you, Satya. Yeah, well, so to begin with, I just want to, turn on my camera and come out of the woods. So Hey guys, good evening to everyone present here, and especially to the management of DK Vaishnav College and the HOD. Thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity to speak. And I just want everybody to, say in the chat that how are you feeling? Like, how was the session till now? And how, like, I would like to wish you all good evening. So at least you can, type in good evening. So it would be really great for me to begin my session, right? So I would request you all to type in anything like a hi or a good evening in the chat, and that will give us some boost, right? Great. So yeah. So let's so let me begin with the yeah. So let me begin with the presentation. So as you all know that I would be speaking about LinkedIn. So you might have known what LinkedIn is, and most of you guys might also be using it actively. So hi, good evening all. Thanks for your comments. So I just want you guys to be engaged like this. It would be really great if you guys are engaging with us. So yeah, so let me know how many of you are having an active LinkedIn account right now, as of now. Just put it in the chat box. Thank you, Bhagalakshmi. Good to know that the session is going great. So how many of you are having active LinkedIn profile? Feel free to put in like yes or no, no LinkedIn or yes LinkedIn. Okay, I'm getting responses. No, okay, great. So I just want to see how many people are awake now, or is this that you guys are on mute and snoozing out? Great. So okay, moving forward. Thanks Kumar for thanks Hema Sri for commenting. So great that you guys have LinkedIn accounts, and few people say that they don't have an active account. No worries. So today the session will be all about LinkedIn and how you can ace your first job and continue to acing your the whole career that you would be having. So LinkedIn is a beautiful professional platform where you can connect with people, find jobs, and get to network with people. So let's see how to optimize LinkedIn to maximize its benefits. So moving onward, so I would be emphasizing on three things today in my session, which would be optimization of LinkedIn, how to position yourself, and how to network well, right? So moving on. So this is how exactly how it is when you create a new account. So this is how you won't be having any profile picture and background photo, right? So I know that you might say this is actually very basic, right? Sharif, why are you telling me that I need to update my profile and background, right? But on LinkedIn, apart from like how we are habituated as students, we are very actively on our Instagram, our social media, other social media where we just put casual photographs. So LinkedIn, so you should be informed that LinkedIn is a professional platform where mostly people come for professional, networking and professional connections, right? So having a clear profile, you can see it on your left hand side, like the face should be really clear, the background should be plain, and your head should be really visible. What we are used to is on the right hand side where we post whatever pictures that we would like on other social medias, right? So I would want to hear from you guys like which kind of profile pictures would you like to put on your LinkedIn, the right one or the left? Just put it in the chat, right or left. Great, guys. You can comment. You can put in your message on the chat box so we can move forward. So right or left. Great. Thanks, Shruti. So moving on. So this is how you should be having the profile picture and the background. Why it is important is because your profile picture is a digital real estate that is being given by LinkedIn. So what I mean by digital real estate is this is a space where you can build yourself. So when on social media like LinkedIn, your profile picture represents your opportunity to make a strong visual, first impression. Like when we go for a interview, right? We wear good suit, we groom ourselves really well, and then we go in a best attire, right? It's the same thing you should do on the LinkedIn itself also. So the thing is, your profile picture is a chance to remind people that hey, I am not a robot behind this profile. I'm a living, breathing human being. So as to speak about the data and the statistics, it shows that LinkedIn members with the photo profile and have profile and a good photo have more engagement than people who don't have. So it is like 21 times more profile views and more connections that people get just by having a good proper profile picture and a background, just like this. So moving on, how to optimize your LinkedIn a further bit. The second step would be you have to have a headline, and it should be a head turning headline. So when I say headline, why am I emphasizing it? Because it is a major factor in LinkedIn search algorithm. So basically every platform has an algorithm. So all this algorithm, what it does, it ranks each profile on the basis of the keywords that they put in, the posts that they put in, and how active they are, right? So whenever if somebody is searching for HR professionals and people from people like you who are just graduating from HR profession and want to start their career in, should be visible, right, for the recruiter. So what you have to do is you have to have a headline which carries a lot of attention, and it should be also catchy. So I'll tell you how people usually have their LinkedIn headlines. So this is the basic headlines that the people generally have. So you can see here that this person is saying that she's actively seeking job in HR profile in Bangalore, which doesn't make sense. We are not getting who is she, what does she have in skills, and what is her experience, nothing, right? So you can see that she's just seeking, this person is also saying that he is seeking a job in HR field. Same similar goes with it. So this doesn't make any sense to the recruiter. Like let's say now you guys will become a recruiter in the future and you will be hiring people. Just imagine if you come across profiles like this, would you ever take a chance and give them a chance even to enter the interview? No, right? Yes or no? No, right? So moving forward, I would show you how you have to optimize, how to optimize the headline in a positive way, which will catch eyes. So if you see here the example of Janvi Bakshi, she has written that she's building a student community at the company, and she's also hiring, and she's showing what her performance was. So she had growth of 20x from the last quarter, and she's working as operations associate at the Unity.in. So this shows this shows is what she is into. She is building a student community at this place, and she's also hiring people, and also she's showing how much her job or the work that she has given in. She's like, as our Satya Lekha said, show your quality in quantity wise also. So she's showing her experience in a quantity matter, so which is really attractive, and people a recruiter can get a sense of this person as being a very optimized and very potential candidate for their job. So these are the three examples which I have jotted down for you, since you guys are into HR. So I would like to give opportunity to any one of you can read one of the example that they would like to. Anyone can become a volunteer and can read one of the examples. Just unmute yourself and we can go. Anyone?
Oh, yes, Sharaf, can I?
Yeah, sure, Bala.
Example 1. MBA in Human Resource Management with knowledge in payroll management.
Great. So here, the example 1 shows that you are a graduate from MBA HR Management and you have knowledge in payroll management, which means whenever a recruiter is searching on LinkedIn for payroll manager or a entry payroll position, if you have this kind of headline, your profile would rank in the top. So let's say if you are a person who is really interested into labor laws like EPF, ESIC, gratuity, and minimum wages, so you can mention that. So what you are interested in looking for. So this will shoot out to a clear picture of you, what you want and what are you seeking for, right? So, and if you don't know what you want, and if you want to become a generalist, HR generalist, or person who is not yet ready to get into a specialization, then you can go with the example 3, where you can see that the person is written is actually is telling the recruiter that he is really realistic insight to human resource management, and he is ready to start at baseline. So it shows that he is ready to work hard and get to learn things. So this is a perfect example for freshers like you. So moving on. So this is simple 3 ingredients for the best headline recipe. So you can note it down. So one is to have keywords. So what I mean keywords is, like in the previous slide I have showed you, right? Like I'll just show you the previous slide. Here you can see the keywords like resource management, payroll management, right? You can see labor law, you can see gratuity. These are all called keywords, and whenever an HR or a recruiter is looking for these kind of positions, he would go with these keywords, and the algorithm will actually put you in the front. So having keywords is a must, and putting your skills and experience, because LinkedIn, you should treat it as your second CV. Nowadays, on LinkedIn, there's an option called direct apply, where even you don't need even to send a CV or a resume to the recruiter. You can just apply through your LinkedIn profile, and they might select you, right? So make sure that you have smallest to the biggest achievement that you have achieved in your life should be put on there, and you should boast yourself. Like, it should be realistic, but you have to also make sure that you put yourself well there. And you should also make sure that your headline has some value addition, which means that how can you add value to the company or to the place you would be working there, right? So note this, that these 3 things are really essential for your headline, right? So moving forward. So next, moving to optimization, right? So when I say optimization of LinkedIn, when we have like seen that we should have a profile picture and a cover picture, and then we should also have a head-turning headline which will catch attention of recruiters, and detailed summary, our achievements, our internships and certifications should be mentioned, and make sure that you have all the credentials proper, and put links in your certification so that people can actually verify it. So that's how you have to optimize it. So once optimization is done, so you can also use your friends' help for endorsing your skills and taking recommendations, because in the end, friends are the ones who will help you, right? So you can go to your colleagues, friends, family, and ask them to endorse you on LinkedIn, so which will make your profile a bit strong, right? Great. Moving forward. So after optimization, so you say, okay, Sharif, you spoke about optimization, and we know how to optimize it. So what is all this about positioning and personal branding, right? So once you are done with your optimization of your profile, positioning yourself and creating a self brand around you matters a lot. We as a company get that CV. What we usually see that our clients, they come and they react this way, exactly this way. What is personal branding? And I just don't know what it is. So please just update my resume or CV and give it back to me. This is exactly how they react, but they don't. What we do as a company, we reach out to them and we tell them how a personal brand matters. So let me give you an example how a brand and a company or a personal brand and a company differentiates, right? So on the slide you can see that Tim Cook has like 12.6 million followers, and Apple, the company itself, has only 6 million, which means that Tim Cook has like 2x more than what the company Apple itself has, right? So Tim Cook here is creating his own personal brand, and that is the reason, because we human beings are social animals, right? So we need people, right, to have connect with people. So instead of connecting to a brand, people flock towards people, right? So that's why he's having around 2x of the company itself. When you go with Microsoft has 13 million, but if you see it, Bill Gates follows you. Bill Gates has around 31 million, close to like 3x of what Microsoft follows. So that is how personal brand matters. So moving forward, how do I know the importance of the personal brand? So Sharif, what should I do to create a personal brand around me? I have no idea. So there's only one thing that you have to make sure is that create content. Become a creator. So creator in the sense you don't need to have these many of followers, and you don't need to be some pro and some growth hacker or something. Just create, write small stuff like blogs or articles, or even create some carousels or even videos. Like, so just create content around things which you like. For example, if you say like you are now into HR, right? So if you are interested on the digitalization or the what do we say, like the innovation that's happening in and around HR industry, you can write up little articles, or you can read some news and contemplate it on in your articles or blogs, and just create and create, keep creating, so that when a recruiter comes on your lands on your profile, he would get a clarity of you as a person and how what your interests are and how well versed you are with the industry standards, right? So moving forward, after optimizing your LinkedIn profile, then creating your personal brand around your needs, what matters most is networking and making true connections. So once you have all set, start making network, because if you create content and all, and if you don't have any person to consume it, then there's no point of it, right? So you should be having proper network. And how to network on LinkedIn? It is pretty easy, simple. So make connections. Keep expanding your network. Okay, just send connections every day. Try to have a routine that every day you would be sending around 50 minimum, bare minimum 50 to maximum how much ever you can. Please send connection to people in and around your personal field. For example, you can connect to person from Google who is HR there. You can connect to HR person from TCS. Try to genuinely talk to them and take value. Just don't like say, hi, I want a job and give me a job. That won't work. So you need to add value to get value out of it, right? So go and give true invitations to the connections, right? So moving forward, and make sure that this you follow properly, because when you're sending invites to people who are like unknown, let's say you're sending to TCS HR person and you don't know him, right? So how would you be connected? So there's an option when you will be sending a connection request to people on LinkedIn. You will be having an option called personal message. So in this personal message, you make sure that you put your name and say that, hey, I'm Sharif and I'm really interested in HR, and I want to connect with you, and it would be really great to get in touch with you and get insights on the industry. So you can have few personal messages like this and send it to people so that they will take you for serious, right? So moving on, after you send connections, having great network, what matters is engagement. So when engagement can be both ways, getting engagement from the people and giving engagement to them, right? So when you have connections, when you post things, people might give you engagement by liking it, sharing it, and commenting. So you should also do the similar thing. For example, if you want to get in touch with a good top-notch firm, and you want to get into their eyes, you just keep on commenting good stuff. Try to analyze the patterns of their blogs, give them suggestions, be proactive. So this will make you stand out of millions of people that they are online, right? So moving forward, so this is the routine that you should be following. Okay, so the routine that you should be following for networking is, as I said, 50 requests per day. Note it up, like 50 requests per day. Send personalized notes. Okay, engage with posts and repeat the same thing again and again every day, right? This is how you would be standing out of the whole crowd. And trust me, as my personal experience, I'm saying I was totally intrigued by an entrepreneur, and he's actually the founder of a tea franchisee called Chai King, and he was on LinkedIn. So I wrote a beautiful personalized note saying that, sir, I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship, and I really liked how you raised fund and created great franchising in and around Chennai and Tamil Nadu in short span, right? So guess what? I never thought that he would reply or become my connection, but he did. and he replied, and I'm in touch with him. So just imagine if you get in touch with a person who's really, top notch, can get into your connection and your network. Just imagine how it would, like you can catapult your career ahead, right? So you should focus on having the right connections and networking really well, right? So this is what the LinkedIn as a tool is really helpful, and if you optimize it properly and you utilize it at its best, learn to master it, then you can easily, crack deals and get yourself out there. So, and one last tip of the day that I would be giving out to you is, if you're lazy like me and you don't want to take all this hectic stuff on you, you can always take professional help. You know what I mean, right? So we get that CV, help people around every aspect of their life, from beginning of their career till the end. So we help people, whether they are freshers or veterans in their field, to switch jobs or to get jobs. We are here to democratize uh, CV writing and resume helping, totally like overall growth of a person in career wise. So you can always reach out to us. We would be really helpful for you guys, and also be supportive in that way. Our main goal of our startup is to help people. So to see them prospering is what is one of our mission that we have in our company. So you guys have been really great audience, and I would really thank all the faculty and the HOD and all the department and DJ College overall. So thank you, sir, and thank you for the opportunity that we had. And and one more thing that I need to give you guys out. There's a bonus and there's a gift for you all from Get That CV. You can use this code. It's called GTCVDG. GTCVDG. Get That CV DJ Vaishnav. So GTCVDG code, and you can visit our website www.getthatcv.net, and you can get up to 10% off. So I would really like, yes. Thank you, Satya, for posting it on the chat. So you can copy the same code on from the chat and go to head towards our website. So thank you for, it was a really good evening. Thank you for the opportunity, guys, and would like to hear questions from you. So over to Madhu.
So hope you all found the session very useful. So to sum it up, we started with the careers in HR, in which we had how to be clear in your goals and how to reach out to experts, and then we saw about the essentials for your job, and which was your toolkit, which was your resume, CV, and cover letter, and how to engage with people and how to use the network so that you can get real job opportunities. And then we went to ATS, in which we saw about how to use your strong action verbs and keywords and things you should avoid while writing a resume. And then we came to writing your impactful cover letter, where we saw about writing about our contact information, how to greet the hiring managers, and how to attract hiring managers. And then we went to how to LinkedIn, where we saw about effective usage of your LinkedIn profile, about your profile photo and importance of your headline, and some examples of it, and some essentials for your headline, and how to optimize your checklist, and how important positioning is, and about your personal branding, creating your own content, and networking with people. So thank you, and we're open to questions now.
Participants can unmute themselves or post your questions in the chat box.
Yeah. Thank you, Balagauri. Please, guys, feel free to unmute yourself and ask any kind of question that you have, or you can drop it in the chat box either. Please feel free to ask us.
Yeah, definitely. Please feel free to ask questions. So you are on the safer side because you are the ones who are asking questions. So don't hesitate. So you can shoot your questions to us.
Yes.
I think these people are really disciplined, right? They are maintaining decorum, class decorum. So everybody is really silent. Really wonderful people, right? I just want to hear you out, guys. Like you all are young, bright people. So just come out and talk to us.
Yeah, any sort of feedback is also fine. If you don't have any questions, feel free to talk to us. Feel free to say how you felt, how you found the session.
Right. Do they have access to unmute themselves?
Yes, Sheriff, they have access
Yeah.
to unmute themselves.
Okay, great. Just checking. Great, guys. Like you can put you can put in the chat box too. You can have if you have any suggestions, comments, or even questions. So you can, yeah, definitely. Divya Darshani G from 1MA HRM. She has posted how to create a strong network connection in the entry level position. So, Divya, if I'm not wrong, you are asking us how to create, like how to, build a good network connection while you are a fresher, right? If I'm not right, you can correct me. Yes. Okay, great. So these are simple. See, for example, what are you are interested in? What are you interested in? Just put in the chat box, right? So what are you interested in? Like what specialization that you want to get into? Like you want to become a HR generalist, or if you want to get into payroll or management, or just put in the chat box so that I can tell you HR generalist. Great, very good. So Divya, basically what you have to do is create your LinkedIn profile and follow the steps which I have said. Okay. Then on a practical basis, connect to people, okay, who are HR generalists and who are veterans in their position. Veterans as in they have at least 5 to 6 years of experience with themselves, right? So connect with these people because many people are really approachable, real humble. So if you even send around, 100 connections per day or two, you would get around 10 people accepting your connections, right? So send a personalized note saying that, "Hi sir or ma'am, I am Divya and I'm aspiring to become a HR professional. I am really new to the field and I'm looking forward to connect with you and get insights on it." So once they connect with you, try to engage with their articles or the posts that they do. Even if they don't have articles and all, try to keep up with them. Like how you keep up with people, right? On WhatsApp and on Instagram, you send good morning message, good night. Instead of that, what you can do on LinkedIn is if you get some good news on any groundbreaking news on HR or any digitalization is happening or any innovation is coming up with your field, you can put that to them. Like you can share that to them personally, or you can ask some questions that you have as a person. Like for example, you don't know what kind of how the job would be looking like the description that they would be posting would be really very like it would be like just a description, right? But the job itself would be really different. So you can post that kind of questions to them. Try to get to know them professionally yet personally. So once you have the good rapport, here main important thing that you have to maintain is rapport. So once you have the rapport in the sense you have the understanding with them, then you can ask them for a referral or for any kind of opening that they have in the company, and that how they can help. Because don't hesitate to ask, because if you don't ask, the answer will be of course no, right? Once you ask and then you get a no, that's fine. You can try on that somebody else, right? So hope this helps you out. So to sum it up, I would tell three things. Connect with a lot of people who are in the same HR generalist niche. Connect with the veterans, not with the freshers. Connect with the veterans. Try to build the rapport with them, and then try to pitch in your own questions or queries or information. So that way you can get along with them. So hope I answered your question, Divya. Thank you, Divya. Thank you so much. So there's one more question from thank you, Bhagya Lakshmi Narayan. Thank you for your feedback. And there's one more question from Jagadish Ilangovan. So he says that how can we relate our academic experience to a personal role? Okay, so sir, you want to take it up or you want me to go ahead?
Sure. So, Jagdish, how can you relate your academic experience to a particular role? So, make sure you know what exactly you are applying for. Make sure you know every nook and corner of the role. Like, for example, whenever companies give out job positions, they will be giving a job description, right? So, a particular role will involve a set of job descriptions or a set of expectations from the candidate. For example, a software developer would require to be good at programming, to be good at development, etc. Right? So make sure that you know what you're applying for, make sure that you know what you're signing up for, and make sure to include, learn all of that in your academic experience. So suppose you're applying for a HR recruiter role, make sure you've done enough research on it. Make sure you are doing projects on it. Make sure you're aligning your whatever experience that you're gathering, make sure that it is completely aligned to whatever job description that you're seeking. I hope that clears your doubt. Sharif, you have anything to add?
Yeah, so I think like if he's clear with it, then we can move on, or you want? Yeah, he's clear with it. So great. So
Great.
anybody else? Just put in your questions, because trust me, like as like, think all of us as your elder brothers, or sisters, or elder your seniors. So because as we are into our careers, and how we have also faced what you are going to be facing, so we have bit experience, and whatever we share will not be found in any books or any articles that you would be reading. Whatever we are getting to be spoken here is totally experience, experience that we have dealt with. So you guys can utilize uh, all our experiences and learn from our mistakes, so that you won't make that mistakes and you are one step ahead, right? So put in all your questions. I just want you guys to be proactive, okay? Being proactive is not essential, like it's an essential skill which is not put it on CV or a LinkedIn profile. It should be put in yourself, right? That essential skill you should be having. Like, be proactive. Don't like get into the backbencher mode and all stuff. Try to be proactive. It's just nothing. You just need to ask questions, or if you don't even have questions, you can just give feedback, or you can just tell like good evening. So just be proactive. Like, I just request you all to be proactive, and this is actually useful for you guys. So hope you understand and apply this. Right? Any questions? Any further questions? I think if there's no questions, we can wind it up. Yeah, I think there are no more questions to be coming. Thanks, Ramya, for your feedback.
We are very glad you found it useful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, team, for your time, and it was really audibly and visually appealing presentation. So now I request Ms. Shushmita of 2nd MA HRM to render the vote of thanks.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. I, Sushmita of 2nd MA HRM, take this wonderful opportunity to thank our esteemed speakers, Mr. Adnan Sharif, the marketing head, Ms. Satyaleka, the content architect, Mr. Gokul, co-founder and also the head of business development, Ms. Madhuri, the chief relationship officer, and Mr. Vaishnav, the founder, for sharing their valuable insights and knowledge on the topic is in your first year. I would like to share few key takeaways from today's session. We should be aware of all the whether everything is right in the toolkit, and we should make sure that resume goes with the screening software application tracking system, and we should use quantifying words in resume, avoid common buzzwords, avoid fillers, and keep simple design. Apart from having a large number of connections, we should make sure whether all those are the true connections. So networking is very important, and also the personal branding. So your speakers and we, the future HRs, would really work on the insights provided by you today. As sharing is caring is an age-old proverb. True to this thought, I would like to thank our PG Department of HRM's pillar, our HOD, Dr. Nancy Martin, for arranging this webinar, and our Professor Subatni for her support to organize this webinar by providing us with an enlightening tour to the pragmatic arena of HR. Finally, I extend my gratitude to participants from various professions and students. Kindly fill up the feedback form, which is provided in the chat box, with your name and email ID. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you all. Have a great day.